let's move on over to the NFC South, and we are going to start with the Atlanta Falcons. Not a lot to say here. I mean, I think we agree with the storyline, I think, for the most part here. We got the graphic up now. Didn't do a whole lot yet. Now, granted, there's still a lot of guys out in the market. This has been a really weird free agency period where we're not seeing as many signings early, and it makes sense. It is what it is. A couple big losses, but overall, I mean, what are you thinking with this Falcons team moving forward?
Alex Mack is a big loss. I mean, he has always been, a top-tier center out there. So I think, where did he end up landing? At the 49ers. That's a massive one. We'll talk about them later. Looking at the team that the Falcons have right now, though, defensively, I don't know what you're going to do. There are so many different gaps that you have to fill. There are so many guys who are veterans but with injury status next to their name that you've just wanted to see do so well. Offensively, I love it.
Yeah.
Offensively, I would like to see Arthur Smith come in and take this same narrative that he did with the Titans early on. You have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst, and assuming that you're going to be able to go into this deep running back draft class and get one of those guys like a Najee Harris or Javonte Williams for me, I think Arthur Smith could rally around this team and offensively get things going. Defense is going to hold you back. Being in a division with the Saints and Buccaneers will also hold any team back as is. So, it's tough because you have an aging Matt Ryan. Julio Jones isn't getting any younger either. I don't know what you want to do going forward.
Yeah, so I absolutely agree. I think this is I personally would try and get one good year out of this offense left before Julio he's getting to the end of his career. You got Matt Ryan, who I can't imagine you feel like is going to be a starter in 2 years, 3 years. I definitely think if you made me guess 3 years from now, he's not the starter of the Falcons or any team. I do look at them as a team that could be in play for a quarterback at 4. I don't think they would be, but they could be.
Man, they could do it, though.
They could do it, or they take the best defensive player on the board. And you go defense anywhere. I think you find a fit for a defensive starter anywhere on that team at 4, and wherever they want to go, I'd be fine with. I mean, Parsons. It doesn't matter. Parsons,
I am screaming Parsons. I know it's early for linebacker. Yeah. I know you.
But he's not even the consensus LB1 anymore.
I mean, people do crack too, though. Yeah. That's up to them. I'm telling you.
Joker, he's been getting some buzz.
Hit.
All right, well, we'll see. I don't know. I haven't looked at linebackers in this class, so I don't have any personal opinion. But yeah, look, I get what you're saying. I want to see this offense work. I do, and I think I love Najee Harris at 35 or 36. At the beginning of the second round, grab Najee Harris, even trade up and land him, because you get that running back in place, play Arthur Smith football, and you just have. Just outscore everybody. Fuck it. I mean, why not? Because your defense is a work in progress. But other than that, other than the running back at number 2, and if you don't draft a running back in the second round, you could pull a Panthers move. Honestly, they could pull a Panthers move, go all defense until like the 5th round, grab a running back there, and just you're probably gonna have to grab a running back somewhere in this draft. But other than that, I feel good about whatever they decide.
I don't think it's a bad move.
Yeah, and honestly, there's some running backs on the market they could grab. They could grab a Chris Carson and feel like they're okay at that position. But we'll see. We'll move on. Let's go on over to the Panthers, who have a ton of moves, and we'll put the graphic up right now, and I'll let you react to it.
Cam Irving, it's a very good one.
Stud.
Pat
Elflein.
From the Vikings
Stud.
at one point. Yeah, starter for sure. And, you had Hassan Reddick, who I know both of us talked about, was one of our favorite underrated. So bad. Yes, he's just so versatile with what he could do in that system. And for them to need defense like they did, I really love how they have attacked it and addressed it. And listen, they go into this draft and nip up a few of those loose ends, really get them a good standalone linebacker. Mm-hmm. I think it's looking, and a few cornerbacks here and there. I think it's looking pretty good. It's not that bad. You have some questions at the quarterback position with Teddy Bridgewater, and there's a very good chance that if they don't do this Deshaun sweepstakes, that it could be quarterback for them. A lot of different things going to happen.
It's going to have to be quarterback.
They lost Weatherly on the defensive end. He came back to the Vikings from wherever he first started, but it's not that big of a deal whenever you have so many interchangeable pieces like a Brian Burns.
They improved no matter what. I mean, you got Brian Burns. You have their first round pick last year. Your Auburn boy. Yeah, I think they improved. improved. I mean, Hassan Reddick, I think, is an improvement over Stephon Weatherly. Now that he's back at his like position he needs to be in, he was trying to play stand-up linebacker with the Arizona Cardinals for 3.5 years, and it almost derailed his career. They finally let him put a hand in the dirt, and he got a lot better. Got like 12 sacks, I think, something like that. I absolutely agree. I think they're going in the right direction. I mean, they're an exciting football team.
Yeah, and you're able to lose to Curtis Samuel just because Robbie Anderson was able to step up and be a really good number 2. Samuel is a very good gadget thrower. I mean, I loved him being there, but there are replacements that you can find for your offense later on in the draft like that.
Man, good. You're gonna trade up for a quarterback, and then you're gonna try and get like an Elijah Moore or something like that in the second round or third round. And I think that's what you probably end up trying to do. And I think that's okay. I think getting Elijah Moore would be a replacement to a Curtis Samuel for me. I think they have to go quarterback first round, right?
Yeah, I think so. It just depends on the way the board falls, because I mean, you want Matt Rule to, and he's smart enough to do this, to have his guy and get his guy and really be well equipped with that guy. So we'll have to see it. I like a lot of these pieces, kind of how you mentioned for my Vikings. In a vacuum, I really do like a lot of these players. And if they can start to piece it together, no, it's not going to be this year, and it probably won't be next year whenever they're legitimate like threats. But it's coming.
Yeah, I think it's coming sooner than you do, actually. So, because I'm not sitting here saying that Bridgewater's horrible. I think he's a really, really, really good backup with very positive starting possibility.
You got good
we saw that, right? So, but at the end of the day, I've heard it a handful of times from different analysts. I think it's very clear that what the Panthers are thinking in the draft. People saying like they lost 8 games in a 1-score game. And they feel like a good quarterback would put them over the edge and put them into a really good team. Their offense is ridiculous. I'm sorry, DJ Moore is a top 10 wide receiver in this league. I 1,000% believe that. You got Anderson, who's a really, really good number 2, and then Christian McCaffrey is the ultimate weapon, right? So you gotta love that. I think they want to grab a quarterback. Would not surprise me a bit if they trade up. I think I would almost predict it that they're going to trade up from 8 to 3.
They should be the ones to do it.
Yeah,
yes, they should be the ones to do it.
And hey, I'd be fine as a Dolphins fan at 3. I would be fine trading down, and I think we talked about it a little bit. There's enough players that are going to be there at 8 that I would be totally fine with, securing a first and a second this year, and then a first next year. I think something like that.
It could be the world of a difference for Carolina if Matt Rule has his guy. Don't sit there and be complacent. Go get your guy and be done, and then you can deal with all the people later, whether it works out or not.
Yeah.
Justin Fields here, I love it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Justin Fields would be a good one. I don't feel like they would be the team that grabs a Trey Lance, just because I think they want a guy that's going to start year 1. Yeah. And Justin Fields, I feel more confident, can go in, start, and figure out the NFL on the fly more than a Trey Lance that I really want to sit a year.
You said on the fly, he ran a 4.41. All of these hand times are killing me, man. He ran a 4.41?
Ain't no fucking way he was a 4.41. Come on now. Ridiculous shit.
That's wild.
Bullshit. I'm sorry. I stopped looking at it. Like, my whole grading system has to be changed for these, because I take into account combine scores, and I take into account statistics like that.
In-game speed now.
I'm taking that out of my grading system completely for this year alone, because I don't believe the pro day score, the pro day times. I don't believe any of it.
You hand me $2,000, I'll time you.
Yeah.
Swear to God. I'll shave it.
I'll shave it. All right, hey, let's move on to the New Orleans Saints, and we're gonna put this graphic up.
Different.
I put in. All I did was give a bunch of Drew Brees. Gotta give Drew Brees a little bit of love. Yeah. I couldn't put an X over it.
He's a goat, man.
He's a goat. I couldn't put an X over it. I was making the graphic, and I was like, let's give a minor tribute to Drew Brees. He's finally officially retired. Had to have his moment in the sun, and he's always been a little bit of a he likes the attention a little bit, and that's okay. So hey. Great career. This is the new chapter for the New Orleans Saints. What are you thinking here with their first free agency moves?
Do you think Saints fans are happy?
I would be. I don't know, but I would be.
I can see outside in where I would be sad to see a legend go, but happy to see this, because I do feel like he kind of kept you limited back. And anyone who tries to deny me, I can show you at least 10 games last year where there are play calls where they bring in another quarterback just to push the ball down the field, because that's just the way that it fell at the end of the day, Yeah. So we get to see what happens. We get to see Taysom Hill. Jameis Winston is maybe the guy. I don't know. Marcus Williams, great job tagging him. I'm surprised that they were able to tag him, but I guess just because of the way the market went with the safeties, it was safer to do that. Noah Spence, good defensive tackle. You lost a lot of stuff, though. You lost Trey Hendrickson. I know you're not as high on him as I was. They're going to be missing him. Janoris Jenkins, they're totally okay losing that. Malcolm Brown was a good starter on that defensive line. I think it's going to be worse.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I mean, they will miss Trey Henderson. I was just surprised he got $60 million over 4 years. He got $12 million a year. That was like, okay,
that's big boy money.
Yeah, that was big boy money. I don't think
the average fan knows who Trey Hendricks is.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was my only issue with the Trey Hendersons. That was more of a Cincinnati Bengals signing him, not the Saints letting him go. Like, I do think that'll be a loss. Overall, though, surprised they were able to get a deal done with Jameis Winston. You see, it's re-signed instead of additions because they really just had to re-sign everybody that they like.
They don't have the money.
They're reloading. Yeah, they're kind of they're in a weird spot where I think next year they're going to be able to really reload and make some moves. This year, I kind of hope. I think they take a minor rebuild approach to this season, this 2021 season. If they try and push, I think they will kind of fall on their face a little bit. I'd like to see them go D-line, trenches. I wouldn't even really worry about the wide receiver too, unless you're in like the third or fourth round. Then grab a wide receiver. I would add a safety. I would add a developmental quarterback, maybe a Kellen Mond in the second round, something like that, just to add to the. We don't know what Jameis Winston is right now. We're not really going to know until probably this time next year when we'll see what they decide to do with Jameis Winston. And I do feel like I know that their guy Taysom Hill is not going to be. I don't think he's going to be the starting quarterback of the Saints ever, but he'll be an interesting gadget guy.
Start. That doesn't mean he should be the starting.
No, not long term. He's a
My wet dream. This is where I want Trey Lance to go because I know you said you have a preference for Trey Lance to sit for a year.
Yeah, this would be a good spot.
Would not bother me if he sat for a year here at all. Yeah. I don't want to throw him out to the flames because I think he is capable of doing it. You're not going to get your best version of Trey Lance, so why do that to him? Yeah. He goes here with Sean Payton though. They're going to have to move up for him, of course. Yeah. But I would love that. That's where I want to see him go.
Yeah. I mean, and then you get to learn behind another inaccurate quarterback with a big arm. I mean, it'd be perfect for him. Damn. I got him.
That's a good one. I like it.
All right. Anywhere else you want to go with this? You agree?
Still a very good football team. 9-7.
Going to be a pain in the ass for a lot of football teams.
I think they're going to get a wild card spot.
Yeah, and I said minor rebuild for a reason. I understand they're stacked. They have a really good roster. I just don't think they're making a Super Bowl push this year. So be okay with that and kind of plan, make a 2-year run, and this time next year we could be talking about them as a serious Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, they're literally just falling back to where almost every other team in the NFL is, to where you're pushing for the playoffs, and you still could mess around and have some stuff happen.
Yeah.
The reason you're not getting the division though is because this next team they're about to roll into, who is locked and reloaded, and they are good to go, and Tom Brady's going to go get 8.
I mean, you talk about reloaded, man.
They didn't lose. Look at those losses.
Take it over. I mean, your love affair. They
didn't lose anything. It is my love affair. I love the number 7, but Brady's going to get 8.
You think he's going to get 8?
He's getting 8.
I don't think he's getting 8.
This team is locked and loaded, ready to go. Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Kevin Minter, Rob Gronkowski. Ryan Sugup's a damn good kicker. And Chris Godwin, they tagged. They didn't skip a beat.
They didn't. And look, you talk about a Leonard Fournette who's still on the market. They might get him back. You talk about a Sue who's still on the market. They might get him back. We don't know what's going to happen with those guys, so we didn't put them on the list. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They attacked every single position. Like, going into free agency, there's no fucking way I would have thought you were going to be able to pay them all. There's no fucking way I thought you were going to keep David, Barrett, and Godwin on the same football team. I just did not think it was possible. The fact that Barrett didn't go get a payday from either the Jets or the Jags is ridiculous to me, but I think he thought he was getting another ring, and he has a good chance to do it.
It is the GOAT effect. We have only seen that in one other sport, basketball, with LeBron James. Tom Brady has that same effect. Guys are drawn to him. Guys want to go play there. I never thought that we would talk about Tampa Bay in this light, where they are just the hot spot. They are the team. I think they're ready to go, man.
Yeah, look, I don't blame you.
It's only going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Hey, at 32, where do you draft? Is there a positional, or
best player?
You agree with me on that? I put that in there, and
I like that because there's no gap. You have a kick-ass defense. You have a very good offense with Tom Brady at the helm. Best player.
Offensive line was great last year. Yeah, you could pretty much go any position. And I was nervous to do this because I looked at, I thought about the Eagles in 2017 when they won the Super Bowl, and we were going into that draft season. And it was like, man, they're great everywhere. It doesn't matter. and how quickly that turned around. So realistically, hey, linebacker, go get a young linebacker to preemptively replace Levante David. Go get a young DN to preemptively replace Shaq Barrett. Both of those guys, Levante David has a 2-year contract. Shaq Barrett, I don't remember what his contract was, but I would think he wants to get paid. I thought he just did a 1-year deal. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'm not wanting to look towards the end. I'm living in the now.
I'm thinking
live in the
draft.
now.
I'm thinking about draft needs. Where do you go in the draft? Go draft go get replacements for some of the guys that are still on your team. That's what I would do. Fair enough?
Number 8.
Number 8. Hey, we'll see. All right, that does it. We have one division left.